So as I say, I've got a big red brick complex over there. As you can see, it's got a what once was a turret of some description, quite possibly like in Moorish style, because there seems to be a lot of Moorish style stuff around here. But this is quite an interesting area, this, and you can see, taken from the hills over yonder, it's all this ironstone. It's everywhere. But if you just look at the patterns in it, it's like it's a skin layer or something. I'm sure of it. That, or it was at sea level, and something vitrified an entire level of the sea. Everything on it, but I'm pretty doubtful of that. But yeah, this is an old red brick complex. But you can see remnants of the old building beneath it. So underneath here you've got the original building, which this is built on top of. So you've got the flint, which would be Norman style, which is then dotted around with the blocks from probably Waverley Abbey, because I'm quite close to that, limestone blocks, and then that has been built upon with the red brick, which is more than likely, I would say, Victorian, Tartarian, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's a nice little complex, this. Nothing says spring more than a set of daffodils. A beautiful little display there, and a red brick and some ironstone. Anyway, over here you've got the various blocks and bricks from a building that once was way before this red brick building was placed here. And this red brick building's old, really old. You can see there's a mixture of architectures in here. I wouldn't like to say how old this bit we're stepping into is. It says 1890. It could be older, but you notice the Moorish style architecture on there. It's a really beautiful area. But it's the same, it's a complex. It's what you call a Tartarian complex, and I would imagine there were griffins on here, so that's kind of like a gatehouse to it. But it's like a small fort. You can see there's like a internal courtyard and entire world that lives within this area. And over here, see, these are the ones I can see in the distance, but you've got the big old stepped walls around it. But I wouldn't like to, I'm doubtful of that 1890 date on there, very doubtful. And some of this brickwork looks very new. These red bricks here look very new. So I genuinely couldn't date this, because if you look at this, which I would say, I don't know, I would say that's 1910ish, not around that period. And then you look at that and it's a lot cleaner and brighter. But it's an impressive building. Well, many impressive buildings on the way. But yeah, it's just coming around the side of it. You can see all these bricks, these black bricks, it's that ironstone. All of them. And this whole place is built out of them. I can find entire walls everywhere built out of this stuff. But they've been harvested from these hills, and whatever it was that's produced it all. So, as I say, this all links up with St Catherine's Hill. Not immediately, but in a way it does. I'm 6-7 miles away. But yeah, so you see we've got the World War II barricades there. This is a new building on the back. But then, like I say, there's entrance into them there hills. We've got the hill that's there. It's very old brickwork, probably 1920s again, I'd say. And what looks to be an old stables. But I would say that this is part of an old cave system, and it actually goes back quite a way into the hills. Hang on a minute, I haven't seen the drain pipe. I wonder if there's a drain cover that I keep looking for. I didn't even notice. But yeah, there's entrances into these hills, and I know it. Right, I had to come back for it, but there's my big hall. These are the drain covers that link up all of these big buildings. It's a black sun, and it's been reversed, and I'm sure that is an underground tunnel network, and it links all of these old Tartarian buildings. Because whenever I find one of them, I either find pieces of a building or a big red building, and they go for what I would say is the distance of this star fort which I'm tracking, which is pretty big. I reckon from pinnacle to pinnacle, I reckon you're looking 10 miles squared, maybe more. It's quite a big area, but as you can see, this complex goes on for ages. It's beautiful though. I'm sure I've been here for a wedding years ago. I mean, looks like more of a newer edition here. You can see how the architecture's different. But here's all our, so we've got all the ironstones running across there, and then we have all the York stones. Piece of marble in there. But like I say, I follow the blocks, and it brings me to places. But I'd say this was like an ornamental garden. There was things cast in there. I don't know what the crest is on this, but this is a much newer building. I don't know. It's got 3 rings on it. I've never seen that crest before. In the old chapel. But as you can see, this wall just goes round, and it encases the whole thing. So these are like miniature, like complexes within a larger, much larger structure. Oh, look at the house on the hill there. Never seen that before, because it's always been because there's always greenery in the way. Yeah, it's just, I mean, this wall goes for miles, and there are loads of walls like this which encase little complexes all over the place local to here. It's very interesting. Looks like there's an access point there, but as I say, I'm sure there's underground access through this, especially into all these hills in the background. Right, I will be back in a while, probably. I've just stopped randomly because, like I said, the undergrowth's gone, and I found a small wall built with this ironstone. So just a dry stone wall. It's not very large. I've got old red bricks on top. Yeah, it's just a dry stone wall. It comes along the top. I've got a slab down there, so I'm wondering if this is part of a property. But I've got fucking hell, this is dodgy. I don't really want to be stood on this wall because it's well rough. Oh shit. Well, I've got very old tiles here. Wouldn't like to say how old these are. Yeah, they're pretty old. Oh, there's a green butterfly there. How cool. But I wonder if it's like part of an old, because obviously I've got farmlands in front of me. Whether it is a, I don't know, maybe a big barn or something. But yeah, it's the dry stone wall I'm stood on's old. Well, it's not dry stone, it's a wet wall, but this is lime cement. This is heavy lime cement, and this is the same stuff you find in Victorian Tartarian houses. on the outer walls, and these are the bricks you'll find in them. These are exceedingly hard. You try drilling one of these, even with a modern, like, decent hammer drill. Some of them you'll get into it within a minute or two, whereas a regular brick would take you 10 to 30 seconds. But I have been drilling a brick like that and it's taken me 10 minutes before, and that's with a very, very good drill. They are solid, and it's because of the amount of iron that is inside of them, which is harvested from these hills, which, as I summarise, is part of a creature. It's the outer shell. See, I've got red brick buried in here. Got fucking hell, that iron is, this tree is on top of it, it's grown on top of it. Got yeah, look, it's you see that is an outer shell to something. I just pulled that off and it seems to have a hole here. But it's, you know, it's a shell, it's on the outside of something. But I mean, that's not, until 2 years ago, I'd never seen that stuff before in my life. I can find it all over the shop now. Oh my god, that's a really old hanky there. How bizarre. But you see, it's all just hanging out of everything. And where I dug these out on St Catherine's Hill, they revealed pipes. Like pipes out of like internal organ pipes, and all sorts of other stuff, which is really cool. But you need to go and watch my Iron Dragon videos to see what I found. But I could chase this hill in for ages. I mean, look at it; it's everywhere. It's part of this. Some of it's internal, some of it's external. It's bizarre. And it does not fit. Really, really does not fit. Because, like I say, for this to fit, all of this would have to have been under the ocean, judging by the amount of dirt on it, that's 100, maybe 150 years ago, if that. And that didn't happen. This place was not submerged in water that soon ago. I mean, if you're looking at the Great Floods, that's apparently 12 to 20,000 years ago. Then that were floods. Whether that's true or not, or whether the timeline's a lot shorter. But once again, I suspect if I look into the Doomsday Book, there will be a huge great fucking dragon that apparently rests on this site. I guarantee it. But I mean, whatever this thing is, it's a Leviathan. It's massive, it's huge. And like I say, it makes up these hills. And there's tunnels into them everywhere. And on top of all these hills you find the big houses. What do these people know that everybody else doesn't?